From Southeastern University, this is the Coach Barefield Show with your host, Donnie Smith.
Good afternoon and welcome to this week's edition of the Coach Barefield Show. My name is Donnie Smith, talking with the head football coach of the Southeastern University Fire, Keith Barefield, coming off of a 66-0 win in Sun Conference play over Ave Maria. Coach, what were you guys most pleased with on Saturday?
Well, first of all, you're always pleased with a win. You take a win anytime, but it's more enjoyable when that win is in front of a packed homecoming crowd. And they have high expectations. They're expecting a win. So when you can deliver, that's always a big thrill for the team and the coaching staff.
You guys forced 7 turnovers. 6 of them led to points. Obviously, that's a big key in getting you guys going. The interception in the second quarter was the biggest.
Well, you know, when you have 7 turnovers in the ball game, and that's one of the things as a coach you want to emphasize to your team. The team that wins the turnover battle most likely will win the ball game. But when you can force 7, you know, that's a tremendous amount. And then being able to convert 6 of those into points, and that's what you hope to do when you get turnovers, you know, that does nothing but, you know, give you more momentum, and it's hard to overcome. In this case, it was very hard for our opponents to overcome.
Anthony Williams got the honors in scoring the 5th defensive touchdown in as many weeks for your team. You said last week you wanted it to continue. It has. Hopefully it keeps continuing.
Well, the one thing that I like about that is it's a different person every week, it seems like. And Anthony Williams was very opportunistic. You know, it looked like Ave was going to go in and score, picked up that fumble down in the red zone and returned it on a long return for a touchdown. And, you know, we hope that continues even into to week 6, and we'll take every turnover that we can get that will be converted into a score for us by the defense. They do a tremendous job.
On the offensive side of things, Jorel Reynolds, another breakout game. Sun Conference Offensive Player of the Week honors with 4 touchdowns, 180-plus yards rushing. A couple of those runs, the 65-yard. I was most impressed by the 34-yard run. Kind of had a little jump cut about 5 yards backwards to get himself some extra real estate.
Well, you know, Jorel is one of the most innovative runners that you'll ever see, and every outstanding running back in any level of football, they'll have you know, some unique traits that they have that makes them very special. And one of the things that Jorel can do is he's very good at changing directions. He's very good at, you know, rolling and going with the flow, backing up and taking that little jump step. And he had a tremendous cut on that run on Saturday night, and then when he got up the sidelines, he made some people look silly, and that's what he's very good at, is making a lot of defenders look silly.
You only gave up 1 sack against an Ave Maria front that had been among the national leaders in sacks and sacks per games. What was the key in keeping their defense at bay?
Well, one of the things that you have to give credit to is John Flath, our offensive line coach. He did a tremendous job with our offensive line and getting them prepared this week for the multiple fronts, the multiple stunts, the blitzes that Ave Maria likes to throw at people. And, you know, they were one of the top-ranked defenses in the nation. And that was a big concern for us going in. And our offensive line, you know, took the coaching from Coach Flath, and, you know, they stepped up. And we really didn't see anything that mystified us on Saturday night. Also
on Monday, the new national poll came out. Come in ranked number 25 in the country. Only 18 games to create your first national ranking. Did you expect it to be this soon?
Well, I won't say that we naturally expected it, but we always set that as one of our goals each year is to be nationally ranked, and that was, you know, one of the goals that we had set this year and every year. We didn't make it last year, but we felt like eventually our program would develop to the point where we would gain some national attention. It's very gratifying, you know, when you do that. At this point of the season, you know, I've already said it doesn't mean a whole lot. The rankings at the end of the season are what means the most. But we're very, very proud, and you know, we're looking to stay there, and we're going to be working very hard to keep those rankings and be representative for our university on the national level as well as the local.
On Saturday, for the second time in as many years, you're going to be playing a game that has conference championship implications when you take on Point, like yourselves, 3-0 in Sun Conference play. What's the mindset of this team going into the game?
Well, you know, we've been there before, and that's good. I mean, we don't have a lot of experience in our program, but one thing that we do have is in the first year, you know, we were playing a game, you know, for the conference championship, the outright championship, and We weren't successful last year. We'll see how much we've grown. We'll see how much our freshmen and sophomores are mature and able to focus on what they have to do in practice this week and how they're going to approach the game and what the outcome will be. But, we play an outstanding team in Point. They're not going to be an easy opponent. They just knocked off a nationally ranked team in Weber International. So they have a lot of momentum, and it's going to be a battle up in Valley, Alabama this Saturday afternoon.
Let's take a closer look at your opponent. They come in, they have a pretty dynamic playmaker at their quarterback position in Charles Fortis, also a very stingy defense. What jumps off the page to you about them?
Well, as far as any quarterback that we've seen in our conference this year, Fortis is definitely the biggest threat that we have seen. He can beat you with his arm, he can beat you with his feet. He's definitely a triple threat back there in the backfield. But the biggest thing that I'm concerned about as far as Point is concerned on the offensive side is their offensive line. They have a very big, tough, physical bunch of players up there. They will grind it out on you, and they will run that power play over and over and over again, and they've got the backs that can do it to wear your defense down. And, the biggest threat that we're going to have is to be able to stop that run. And if we have to commit too much to stop the run, it's going to open up things, in the passing game for them and for Fortis to possibly break contain and, hurt you with his running ability. So they present probably the biggest threat to us this year offensively that we've faced.
Walk us through your keys to the game. What do you guys have to do to move to 4-0 in Sun Conference play?
Well, number one, I think our defense, has to continue to play the way that they've been playing. They've been keeping our opponents out of the end zone on a consistent basis, and we've got to limit their scoring. We've got to win the turnover battle. We can't make foolish mistakes on offense. We've got to protect the football. We've got to be more opportunistic early. I don't think we can wait till the second quarter against this team. If we do, we might find ourselves behind in the ball game and maybe insurmountable disadvantage. So we don't want that to happen. But if we can execute on offense, maintain our poise, continue to play opportunistic defense, and come up with turnovers and win those battles, and not have any silly penalties, we'll be in great shape.
Fire football is on the road Saturday when they head to Valley, Alabama to take on the Point University Skyhawks. That'll do it for this week's edition of the Coach Barefield Show. We thank you for joining us. My name is Donnie Smith. Have a great day.
This is the Coach Barefield Show from Southeastern University, home of Fire football.